And now, WJCL News, working for you.
Southern Freeze 2014 came in overnight and early this morning. Here's a look at what several counties in our area experienced. Places like Sylvania, Statesboro, the Low Country, they all got snow. In Savannah, there was ice and even a little bit of sleet. Some of that ice even closed down major bridges. We're working for you tonight with all the information you need to know. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kevin Holmes.
And I'm Jennifer Andrews.
Chief Meteorologist Jeff Kirk has been tracking this winter storm since the beginning. He joins us now with the latest.
And guys, you know, it's been just a nasty situation the last couple of days. We didn't get it as bad as some of our neighbors to the north and west, but we had enough to obviously cause some problems, and it's going to be a very cold night out there tonight.
As I say, here we go again or not?
Well, no more frozen precipitation, but we do have to watch out for some black ice because some damp areas on roads, especially bridges and overpasses, will be slick as we head through the night. Let's check out what's happening right now. Cold across all the southeast. Most areas below freezing, including Savannah holding at 31 degrees. Right now down at St. Simons is 33. It's 32 in Vidalia. Now the threat for any significant wintry precipitation is over. As we look at the radar, we can see that Florida is getting hit with rain. On the very northern edge, we've had just a little bit of very light precipitation in a few spots this afternoon, kind of a sprinkly sleet in some areas, nothing that would amount to any type of accumulation. There still might be a spit or two of sleet somewhere south of I-16 this evening, but that will not amount to anything. Again, the main thing is that if you are going to be traveling tonight, be extra careful. A lot of the roadways have been drying out, but there still may be a few little hidden patches of black ice, mainly on bridges and overpasses. Here's a look at your temperatures locally. Again, pretty much everybody at or below freezing, and temperatures will drop overnight. Now, one bit of good news is we have thick cloud cover in place, and that may prevent the temperatures from dropping too much more from where they are right now. At the moment, it looks like we'll get down to an average low of 26, but the clouds might be thick enough to keep the temperatures a little bit higher than that. So any little bit to keep the temperatures a little higher will help out somewhat on that black ice threat. Now, we do have some warmer weather on the way in the not too far distant future, and I'll detail that coming up in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Well, we were spared, but oh my, the city of Atlanta, it is still an absolute mess after being hit by the winter weather. Check this out. Georgia Governor Nathan Deal met with the media to talk about the ongoing problems. Well, motorists are still stranded today after more than 2 inches of snow fell yesterday. Among those, hundreds of school children who couldn't get home because of the weather. Well, the city has come under criticism for not being prepared. However, city officials say the forecast had the storm hitting south of the city.
We can't control Mother Nature. Just as we could not make better predictions, neither could school superintendents. That's why the school children were in the situation they were in, because they were probably looking at the same modeling that some of our state folks were looking at as well.
Well, the National Guard was brought in to help out. So were helicopters, which were used to get food and water to the stranded motorists. Now, some of those stranded in the Atlanta snow, well, they were local Chamber of Commerce members in town for Savannah Chatham Day. Governor Deal announced today, though, state government will remain closed through at least Thursday. So, well, that canceled all Savannah Chatham Day activities that were set for this week. Well, plans are in the works to reschedule, but so far no date has been confirmed. We will hear from our locals stranded in the snow tonight at 10 and 11.
School closings and delays continue tomorrow thanks to Southern Freeze 2014. Chatham, Bryan, and several other Georgia County school districts have extended cancellations through tomorrow. Effingham County schools are operating on a 2-hour delay. In the Low Country, Beaufort and Hampton County schools are closed. Jasper County schools are on a 2-hour delay. For a list of complete closures and delays, visit our website, WJCL.com. Bullitt County, one of the hardest hit areas and the first to see this winter weather come through our area.
Yeah, things got messy. They got freezing rain, even some snow flurries. WJCL's Ashley Lincoln continues our team coverage with the conditions in Statesboro.
Well, Kevin and Jennifer, right now I'm on Highway 67 in Statesboro that crosses over I-16, and the freezing rain has left our area, but what is left behind is this black ice, mainly on our bridges and overpasses, and this is what emergency officials want drivers to be on the lookout for tonight. Freezing rain and snow flurries came and went Thursday night and Wednesday morning in Statesboro. Bullitt County emergency officials were on hand around the clock before the first raindrop touched ground around 4 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. They encouraged residents to stay inside as the rain rolled in, and residents listened. No accidents or road closures were reported, and the roads were fairly quiet. But the freezing rain still left its mark. Trees were covered in ice and flags frozen to poles.
We have about 130 crews that are on standby as we speak.
Georgia Power workers say close to 400 people in the county went without power around 4 a.m. Wednesday morning.
Didn't last long, got that back on, and now we're doing good.
And even though conditions were milder than what was expected, they say it's better to be over-prepared than under-prepared in these situations.
To bring in enough crews, engineers, things of that nature, to take care of any event or any situation that may come. Thankfully, this event didn't turn into much, but you always want to err on the side of safety.
Around 7 a.m. Wednesday morning, snow flurries made their arrival, but the enjoyment was short-lived. The snowfall only lasted for about 30 minutes. Soon after, Bullitt County dispatched their 4 crews that were on standby to sand down all bridges and overpasses in the county. And as we enter into night 2 of this winter weather, we are now faced with black ice on bridges and overpasses. And again, Kevin and Jennifer, emergency officials want drivers to use extra precaution tonight when driving over these bridges and overpasses. Some of them still have ice left on the bridges. For now, reporting in Statesboro, Ashley Lincoln for WJCL News, working for you.
All right, well, Georgia Power says that they will continue to have their crews on standby for another night in the event of even more power outages. Now, they had feared inches of snow in the low country. However, overall, Beaufort, Jasper, and Hampton counties, well, they kind of escaped Old Man Winter.
There were a couple of overnight accidents on the roads, and mainly due to the freezing rain. 2 of those accidents closed down the Hilton Head Island Bridge for an hour. Low Country Bureau Chief Larry Spruill was on the scene and continues our team coverage.
That's right, Kevin and Jennifer. I'm here at the Hilton Head Island Bridge. Now, it was shut down earlier for about 45 minutes to an hour due to 2 minor accidents that happened on the bridge that were weather-related. I spoke to deputies. They said the accident happened on the bridge, so they had to shut down the bridge, both getting on the island and getting off the island. They would not let anybody on or off the island. I also spoke to one man who was getting off of work in Bluffton. He was just trying to get home to Hilton Head to get to his kids. So just imagine his surprise when he was told he could not cross the bridge, therefore he could not get home.
Frustrated. I believe those who live on the island should be allowed to go back to the island, especially for their families. But they should have a plan going forward, you know, just in case, because there are people that do need to commute.
Things are now clearing up here in the Low Country. All the ice is now turning into water. But although things are clearing up, you have to remember that law officials ask everyone to stay off the roads until Thursday. But for now, reporting here in Bluffton, I'm Larry Spruill, WJCL News, working for you.
Of course, we will let you know once that no driving advisory is lifted.
Yeah, well, just in Georgia, Highway 25 has been closed down due to ice on the bridge at the Houlihan Bridge. They say that's going to remain closed until about 10 a.m. Now, here in the Savannah area, well, we have had problems with some of our bridges as well. Crews spread sand and salt on most of them, which kept most of the cars going.
But some bridges are still closed tonight because of the ice. WJCL's Nick Notario is live at the drawbridge on the Islands Expressway, where it's been closed since this morning. Nick, any word on when the bridge will reopen?
Well, Kevin, this one is all going to depend on the temperature. It's cold right now, which means the ice that's on this bridge right now isn't going anywhere. And how often do you see this? It's rush hour. There's no cars coming nearby. And I'll tell you why. Let me show you why this is such a concern tonight. I am just sliding right across the ground. Imagine if I'm just sliding, what it would be like if you were driving 50, 55 miles per hour tonight. So even though it's dangerous, some people say they were frustrated about this whole situation.
Traffic was at a standstill in some parts of Savannah today, not because the icy conditions caused an accident, but police cars had to block off this bridge in Thunderbolt to allow Georgia Department of Transportation crews to spread sand and rocks to break up ice. Despite trucks doing this, though, to make it safer to drive, some motorists grew frustrated.
It's going to take us a long time to get home now. You can't get in, so if you live over there, it's a problem, because now you're stuck. You can't get back to your house. It's cold out
live.
GDOT crews also worked on the Talmadge Bridge. The closed signs were ready to go up as the freezing rain fell this morning, but the Talmadge Bridge never shut down. Not the case, though, for the drawbridge on President Street. It closed this morning around 10, something Bridge Assistant Supervisor Wesley Bauer says in nearly 2 decades of work, get this, he's never witnessed.
19 years, never seen it iced over.
It caught motorists by surprise, too. Dozens of vehicles as we were there were turned around by police who sat in front of the bridge to make sure no one drove over it.
The problem is this metal grating which has holes, so you can't put down salt and sand, which will break up the ice. So instead, they have to sit and wait, and now this bridge is more like an ice skating rink.
Right now, we just wait. You know, it's the temperature. We can't obviously put salt or sand on it. It's got holes in it, so it's a waiting game right now.
All right, this bridge isn't the only one that's closed tonight. Here's a list of the rest of closures in the Savannah area. Of course, you can find all this information on our website, WJCL.com. Now, I want to stress out to people, if you are traveling tomorrow on President Street as life returns to normal, I want to note that on the few miles to get out here, coming from downtown Savannah out towards the islands, there were no signage along the road until about the bridge itself saying that it was closed. So be careful if you are going to come out here and then you get stuck and have to turn around and go to Thunderbolt. And this bridge is going to remain closed until the temperatures start to rise and police say all this ice melts away. For now, reporting live in Savannah, Nick Notario, WJCL News, working for you.
All right, Georgia Power has now restored power to the 111 customers who lost service this morning. Well, that number is coastal-wide. Statesboro had the most outages at 92. Georgia Power is keeping extra personnel and resources through tomorrow morning, though. They say that way they can respond to any outages that may happen tonight. And the Savannah Hilton Head International Airport had several cancellations this morning due to the weather. If you have a flight scheduled to go to Atlanta or Chicago tonight, those have been canceled. Well, those flights coming to Savannah are either delayed or canceled as well, so be sure to check your flight status ahead of time.
I think that Nick there has the future in ice skating. What about you?
He certainly does. He's got those Tanya Harding moves, doesn't he? Well, maybe not those, but the skating anyway. Oh, what an analogy. Yes, skating right along. I'm on thin ice on that.
Yeah, you are. All right.
All right, there is good news, though, tonight. The city of Savannah is going to be back open tomorrow, meaning you will have trash pickup. Maybe that'll help save me.
Yeah, and ahead on WJCL News at 6, the search continues for a prison escapee in Jessup County. We'll have the details.
Bridges in Effingham County were icy today, and many people were heeding the warning to stay off the road. I'm Rob Macko, and I'll have that story coming up.
Oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. Rob, can you hear? No.
I don't know.
He don't have interruptible feedback.
Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
This is a circus show?
What? Possibly. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, we played it off well. Hopefully that saved us.
Hey, Rob, with the forecast. That's right. Storm tracker.
Ice.
Southern Freeze 2014 has taken a toll on our roads. Icy bridges and overpasses, those were kind of the main issues in Effingham County.
Sheriff's deputies told people to stay off the roads, and many of them listened. WJCL's Rob Macko was working for you with the latest on the road conditions. Rob?
As the roads in Effingham County, they were pretty empty today. It seems a lot of people were heeding the warning. Now, deputies say that because they did that, that likely kept down the number of accidents. People in Effingham County woke to find icy trees and branches, sleet, and wintry leftovers on rooftops. 5.5-year-old Ross Harden was disappointed.
I was hoping it was going to snow.
Why is that?
Because I wanted to have a snowball fight and build a snowman.
But he and his parents were happy to have the day off and a little fun.
We both teach in the county, in Effingham County, and we're glad to be off today and enjoying family time.
The road conditions were less than enjoyable. Icy bridges and overpasses were a problem. Georgia Department of Transportation workers shoveled rocks onto the Ann Purcell Bridge on Highway 21 in Springfield. Authorities told people to stay off the roads, and for the most part, they listened.
Everyone's cooperating. Most of the public is heeding the warnings. It's kind of like a ghost town out here today, and that's not a bad thing. That's what we wanted.
The steel bridge connecting Effingham to Bullock County is one of the bridges that iced over. DOT and Effingham County road crews went out to bridges and overpasses today and put down this. It's a mixture of rocks and gravel. Now, it's meant to improve traction. It helps a little bit, but county leaders say it doesn't solve the problem. Ice is more dangerous than snow, so authorities are happy many stayed home. But this day turned out to be a big bust for Jay Patel at Liberty Mini Mart in Guyton.
Right now, we would have a lot of people here for lunch. As you see, there's nobody.
Customers were few and far between, and the gas pumps were idle.
Not good for my business or any other business. There are a lot of businesses that are closed up right now, and they could have been open.
Now, the wet bridges and overpasses are expected to refreeze tonight, so Effingham County deputies say that you should stay home tonight and into tomorrow morning. They say not to go out, guys, unless you have to. They say that they also want people to report any problem areas, any icy spots that they see, report it to them, and they say they'll get somebody out to it.
We are not in the clear just yet.
Not quite, nope.
Alrighty, thank you,
sir.
Rob.
New at 6, an inmate is on the run after escaping from a local prison.
Yeah, Jessup law enforcement is currently searching for the inmate who escaped last night. We are told Jessup Satellite Prison Camp staff, well, they saw inmate Melvin Nance fleeing Tuesday night. He was serving a 12.5-year sentence for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. His projected release date is December of 2018. Now, he is not considered armed and dangerous, but if you see him, call local authorities or the U.S. Marshal Service. Well, funeral arrangements have now been made for the 15-year-old killed in a shooting last week. A memorial service will be held for William Elijah Norman. That's going to be Saturday at 2 o'clock at the Sanctuary of Savannah. To make donations to help fund the funeral, you can visit any Wells Fargo branch. You can also make your donations to the William Elijah Norman Memorial Fund.
Investigators are still working to determine what caused an early morning fire in Thunderbolt. It happened just after 2:30 a.m. on College Street. Crews battled the flames for more than 2 hours and in less than favorable weather conditions. The chief says investigators are trying to determine what caused this fire and if it could have been weather related.
All right, y'all set? It's going to be like deja vu. A little bit, not quite as bad, it sounds like.
Exactly. You know, the main concern tonight when the temperature dips below freezing, a lot of the roads, ice, yeah.
Refreezing. There's Frosty over there putting all those last minute details on the forecast. We'll check it with him when we come back.
Welcome back. Another cold, wintry day. Temperatures staying at or below freezing across just about the entire area during the afternoon. Let's look at our current temperatures across the southeast. Right now we are at 31 in Savannah. We've got low 30s and 20s all over Georgia and the Carolinas. Temperatures will only go down as we head through the night. Now, one thing that may help us out some are some clouds that are in place, and they're not going anywhere. If we would have cleared out late this afternoon, our temperatures would have gotten down near 20 tonight. That's not the case. These clouds will actually help hold our temperatures up into the upper 20s, which still below freezing, could cause some black ice, but obviously better than if we were getting down to around 20 or so. Now, we have had just a little bit of very light sleet in a few spots out there, even a little bit of freezing rain this afternoon in McIntosh County. There still could be a few little spits of light sleet in a spot or two, but I'm not expecting any accumulation. Again, the main thing is going to be that any damp areas on roads could be some patchy black ice, mainly on those bridges and overpasses as we head through the night. Here are some storm reports from earlier today and last night. And as we kind of expected, it was primarily a freezing rain and sleet event. And we did have a few areas that mixed with or briefly changed over to snow. But mostly we had some ice accumulating on trees and, of course, on some of the bridges, and some sleets accumulated on the cars and grasses as well. Now, as we take a look at tonight, this one model actually shows that possibility of just a little light sleet could try to redevelop in a few spots. Again, I'm not expecting any accumulation with that, but we stay cloudy overnight, and for much of the day tomorrow, if we get any sun tomorrow, it's going to be in our far inland spots like Vidalia and down through Hazelhurst through 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Looks like a much better chance that we break out in the sunshine as we head through Friday. So the clouds tomorrow are going to keep our temperatures cold once again. If you want warm air, Miami's not bad, 68 degrees. But north of that, it is cold, although not as bitter cold to the north as it was. And out to the west, we have some milder air, which is going to push east in the next couple of days. Once we get that sun out combined with this, it is going to be much milder as we head into your weekend. Now, for the overnight, we're dipping down into the 20s. I think we'll be about 28 on average at 8 a.m. tomorrow under cloudy skies. Now, the clouds will keep temperatures from rising quickly, so it looks like a high of only about 42. And it's not out of the question. Some areas may not quite make it out of the 30s, but we should all get above freezing, so help to melt off any icy spots that might still be left over out there. So tomorrow night, we should not have a repeat of any possible problems we have tonight. High tide occurs at 7:21 in the morning. On the water, we've got a small craft advisory that will be in effect through tomorrow with north winds at 15-20 knots and seas running at 3 to 4 feet. I doubt you have any boating plans, but just in case that's what it is. Here's your latest pollen report. We'll see if any of this winter weather has affected that over the next couple of days. And your storm tracker 7-day forecast showing that we have that nice warm up, 58 on Friday and mid to upper 60s over the weekend. Our next precipitation chances will only be in the form of rain. As you see, our temperatures will be much milder as we head through the beginning to the middle part of next week. We'll keep it right here. We'll have plenty more coming up after the break.
Good evening, sports fans. A former Coastal Empire baseball standout appears to be on the fast track to the big leagues. Appling County's Byron Buxton becoming a household name to fans that follow professional baseball. In his first full season as a pro, the former second overall draft pick by the Minnesota Twins was named the minor league player of the year. This week, Buxton tabs as the top overall prospect in the Major League Baseball by ESPN's Keith Law. Buxton split time between Minnesota's minor league affiliates in Cedar Rapids and Fort Myers. He hit .334 with 12 homers and 77 RBIs last season. While Buxton continues his climb to the majors, our good friend Josh Reddick is just a couple weeks away from reporting to Arizona for Oakland A's spring training. The Gold Glove outfielder and South Effingham alum has been enjoying his offseason with family and friends out in Effingham County. Reddick reports to spring training on Wednesday, February 19th, with the A's first full squad workout on the 20th. A couple months back, Reddick had surgery on his wrist, and he's been rehabbing from home. In addition to that, Reddick has been giving back to his hometown by working with kids at baseball camps and through his annual Home Run Derby in Rincon.
I like to stay around here, and a lot of people wonder why I do that, but it's just something that I enjoy doing. I mean, everybody asks, why come home to Effingham County? There's nothing here to do. Well, there is for me. I'm only here 3 months out of the year, so this is my getaway for the whole year, and it's just got that home feeling to it.
Good look at sports.
Thank
All
you,
right,
sir.
thank you.
The latest tonight on Southern Freeze 2014. We're not out of the clear just yet.
Absolutely. We'll have the latest from Jeff when we come up tonight at 11 and at 10 as well. Have a good night, everybody.